Hi everybody, my name is Christy and I am a Team Beachbody coach, and I wanted to share with you guys today something that was like literally an aha moment yesterday night when I was listening to one of my personal development audiobooks in the car on the way home from work. When I heard this, it was like the door, like the gates to heaven opened and they were like, ah, and I couldn't help but want to share this with you guys because it is something that is so true and so different that I never thought about before. So the book is called Better Than Before. It is by Gretchen Rubin. Oh, maybe you can't see. But this is what it looks like. I have it on Audible. And it is all about creating habits and making what is the best way for you to create a new habit or to maintain your habits. And it has been really something that I've been really focusing on since now that I am going to be quitting my job in August here, and I am going to be a full-time work-at-home coach and be able to be home with my babies as much as I want. So building habits is something that has always come hard to me. When it's new, you're in that honeymoon phase and it's super easy to start a habit, but maintaining it is something totally different. And so this chapter that I listened to last night was all about moderation and abstaining. So basically the premise behind it is that abstainers are people that don't cheat, they don't go off their plan, they don't break that habit for any reason, they don't take a day off, they don't, they keep it going day after day after day. And for moderators, people who use moderation, they are people that can and want and need that little bit of a break. So you follow this habit for a week and then you take a day off or something, maybe sleep in later, skip your workout, maybe you're going to have a cheat meal, maybe you're going to not do as many tasks for your business, or whatever your habit that you're trying to form is. Moderation, you are giving yourself a break at some point somehow, and there's many different ways to do that. And one of the things that she talked about was that if you are someone, like for me, chocolate is one of my huge vices, and she brought up the fact that if you keep a chocolate bar in your purse or in your drawer or whatever it is, that you will be able to, if you are a moderator, you can eat 1 square per day and be totally fine. If you're an abstainer and you are working on a healthier lifestyle, that 1 square of chocolate every single day is going to turn into 2 or 3 or more, or the whole thing, or even a second one. And abstainers don't have that control. Once they break that habit for even a second, it is super hard to get back on track. And so although to a majority of our culture and even within our challenge groups, we preach moderation and balance, but sometimes people need that, they need to abstain, and they once they break that habit, they go down. And so this is something I really wanted to talk about within our challenge groups, that if you have something like those, like maybe you're a chip person, or maybe you like pizza a lot, or whatever it is, and you are following this healthy lifestyle, that if you cannot stop at just one, that you should try to do the abstinence and try and not do a cheat meal. Don't give yourself a little snack, because if you are an abstainer, you are going to have so much harder of a time adjusting to this, that it is going to be really, really, really difficult for you to get back on track after that. Example of this, I found out through this chapter that I am an abstainer. And so I started my challenge group last year, almost a year to the day, and I found that it was really, really easy for me to get rid of chocolate out of my diet. And I never thought that was going to happen, because I was that person that was constantly eating chocolate. If there was candy in the house, it was all gone. Or if I went to the gas station, I would always buy a candy bar and I would have it gone. Or I would buy it for later, but it would really end up being 10 minutes later versus later in the evening. And so I found when I started this challenge group that it was very easy for me to get my fix with my chocolate Shakeology. And then as I reached my goals, I started to get a little bit more lenient on my habits and my healthy lifestyle and my healthy eating. And so I started to eat more chocolate. And I remember this big turning point was Halloween. And since Halloween, I've had an awful time at trying to control it. I've been getting better recently again, but Halloween, when I helped my kids sort their candy, and of course I ate a few, and of course, like, it's life, you're just going to do it. But I found that my urge to have chocolate was through the roof again. I was still drinking my Shakeology every day, or about every other day if I happened to miss a day or something like that. And Shakeology wasn't cutting it for me anymore. And that's kind of where I realized, like, no, I just need to be done. I need to stop. And once you really do have that lifestyle built into you, when you go back into like a cheat meal or something like that, it is really, really difficult to stay on track for a long term. But if you do, and you just abstain through it, and you just do it as much as, like, you don't necessarily even need to feel like you're deprived, but you know if you do that cheat, that you're backwards. And so being an abstainer can sometimes be really difficult because you feel like you're depriving yourself. But once you get in that habit and you know that about yourself, you're not depriving yourself, because you know you're reaching your goals and you know you're pushing forward. And so with moderators, they tend to view that stance of never cheating and never taking a break as something that's really, really outlandish, and that you are depriving yourself of stuff. And a lot of people, I think they like to think that they're moderators, and she said this in our chapter as well. A lot of people think they're moderators, but they realize they're not. Because moderators, they really can just have one square of chocolate per day, and that satisfies them. Or they can do one cheat meal a week and not go overboard. They don't have multiple. They don't overeat. Like, they really can control themselves in moderation and in balance. So while we're into summer, I know it is super, super hard, but take a really deep look at yourself and think about what are you? Are you an abstainer, or are you a moderator? Can you handle that moderation? If you are an abstainer, I personally believe that you can train yourself to be a moderator, but it is very, 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 very hard. So really look at that and really think about it. For my coaches, I wanted to post this in my coaching page too, because I think this correlates so well with our coaching business, that for your work and your vital behaviors and your inviting and your personal development and your workouts, and workouts even go for my challengers, but figure out that schedule if you're an abstainer and stick to it. If you are someone that skips a day of workouts like I do, you are going to find it so much more difficult to get back on. As soon as you start falling off, I will tell you right now, your challengers also fall off. And I know that I have seen that personally in my business, and I know that it happens to a lot of people. So starting today, I am really, really focusing on honing in and embracing the fact that I am an abstainer, and I'm going to do everything in my power to try and keep my flow going to reach my goals. So for my business, I'm going to make sure that every single day I am present, I am inviting, I am trying to grow, and I'm there for my challengers, and I'm there for my coaches, and I'm there for the people that want help, and I'm adding value into my social media so that other people that I may not be helping personally can also get help. And it was literally like this aha moment, like, of course I'm an abstainer, because anytime I try and take that break, or I try and do that cheat meal, or I have that chocolate, or whatever, I take that 1 day break, it turns into 2 days, and then 3 days, even up to 4 or 5 days. And then I get back on for a little bit, and I'm good, and then I fall back off again, because I think moderation and balance is good. But if you're an abstainer, following your schedule and following your goals is something that is going to really, really help you. Whereas moderators, they can jump off a little bit because they can jump right back on track, and they're totally fine. So don't feel like, if you are an abstainer like myself, that you have to take those cheat meals, that you have to take a rest day. I know with the 21-day fix we don't take rest days, but don't feel like you have to, because that's what we're pushing down your throat. Going into summer, I know for my summer survival group, I know I talked really, really strongly about balance and moderation, and figuring out how you can be good when you're on your own, and when you're at an event where you can't necessarily control things, to at least control yourself, and to indulge but not indulge too much. And if you're one of those people that can't, and I know for me, I'm not, if I go to a gathering and there's food there, I have this thing in my brain, and this compulsion that I have to eat everything and as much as I possibly can, because I don't get this very often. But if you think about it, you have so many opportunities to be at gatherings with food that you think you're not around very much, and that you think you can indulge more on because you're not around it. And so that's just something that I personally am going to be working on, and it was like the floodgates opened, and it was just an amazing aha moment for me, that I realized that it is not a deprivation to stick to my goals. I can find ways to make it so that I can reach my goals at any and all times. So anyway, I just want you to think about that on yourself. Think about if you can be if you actually are a moderator. Think about if you're actually an abstainer, and embrace it and love it. And I strongly suggest you guys either read that book, or get the Audible app, or on Kindle, or whatever. It's pretty much everywhere. And listen to this book if you want to build these new habits, because it's really, really, really great. And I have fallen in love. Once again, the book's name is Better Than Before, and the author is Gretchen Rubin. So I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. I hope this kind of sheds some light. I'm really excited about it, the fact that I learned something new about myself, and I'm totally, I feel changed. So power of personal development, guys. All right, have a good day, guys.